Welcome to Touchdown Spotlight's picks of the best NFL draft moments. But before we start, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified about our future content. The NFL draft has come a long way from its beginnings in Philadelphia in 1936, where the first pick and Heisman Trophy winner, Jay Berwanger, decided on a career as a foam rubber salesman rather than play as halfback for the Eagles. You might think that is crazy, but 24 of the 81 players drafted never played a snap in the league. Nowadays, over 6 million people watch the draft itself live, and the first pick in 2021, superstar quarterback and future Head and Shoulders spokesman Trevor Lawrence, pocketed over $24 million just as a signing bonus. If I had that money at 21, whew, well, I definitely wouldn't be happy about living in Jacksonville. Anyway, there have been literally thousands of incredible and emotional stories and moments over the decades, and we wanted to highlight some of our favorites. It really is special to see such a life-changing moment for these players after years of hard work and sacrifice from not just them, but everyone in their lives. And these videos put a huge smile on our faces every time. Where better to start than one of the most uplifting and poignant moments in the last few drafts? The 28th pick in 2018. If that's not giving it away, it was a pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It wasn't the name selected that was special. No offense, Terrell Edmonds. It was the man walking to announce it. Ryan Shazier quickly became one of the most feared linebackers in the game following his arrival as the 15th player selected in 2014 and earned Pro Bowl selections in 2016 and 2017. In the latter season, he was seemingly paralyzed in one of the most harrowing injuries ever seen, which we are not going to show you because we are here to celebrate the collective relief of all football fans felt to see Shazier walk across that famous stage. Compare that to the utter joy of the 2021 selection of Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears at number 11, a player nobody expected to fall outside of the top 5 just a few months before, and who is pretty much already the best quarterback the team has had since at least 1950. That maybe says more about the Bears than anything else, but Fields could prove to be one of the most impactful players to arrive at any franchise in NFL history. The 2020 and 2021 drafts have been unlike any other due to the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we don't want to linger on the negative. We did want to bring up the unexpected pleasure of experiencing the event at home with the pundits, players, coaches, and their families. It was definitely a strange night. Even some celebrities got involved. But I bet some of you even enjoyed League Commissioner Roger Goodell and his random basement and wardrobe changes. But for those of you that missed some of the most intense hugs you'll ever see between strangers, here's a few man squeezes that have stood the test of time. We'll start with the most accidentally intimate, the infamous nose nuzzle between the commissioner and 346-pound Dontari Poe in 2012. Isn't it sweet? Fletcher Cox got a bit more body rock than usual. Or how about a hug longer than most of us have ever held? Late-blooming cornerback Stephon Gilmore had the weirdest grip I've ever seen on Goodell for over 10 seconds, and he was the right pick before Dontari. Poor Roger probably needs a good massage and a couple days in bed every year after getting manhandled by these monsters. Now, you might think this is a weird pick, but we also want to bring up the shock that Aaron Rodgers and his terrible facial hair had to sit through in 2005, eventually being chosen 24th in the line by the Green Bay Packers. That's a hell of a drop for a man who has since admitted he was confident he would be selected first overall by his local team, the San Francisco 49ers, who instead opted to draft Alex Smith. This was obviously mainly due to teams in between already having other urgent needs or established, inherently expensive, and often temperamental quarterbacks already. However, the camera crew were ruthless, and watching Aaron go through that experience provides a huge amount of motivation and encouragement to us. There is no doubt he used the pain to drive him to focus and work harder than ever. And what better message could anyone take from sport than that? Many names come up when you debate who has been the most influential football player on future generations of the game. Some idolize the presence and violence of a Lawrence Taylor or Dick Butkus. Others took inspiration from the grace and vision of running backs like Barry Sanders or Walter Payton. But whether they know it or not, every athlete has been running plays from the Dion Sanders playbook ever since primetime exploded into the NFL as the fifth pick of the 1989 draft. Dion was unique. Bo Jackson before him had played baseball at the same time as football, but Bo never managed to appear in a Super Bowl and a World Series, to hit an MLB home run and NFL touchdown in the same week. Dion is even one of two players ever to score an NFL touchdown 6 different ways. See if you can list all 6. By the way, you might find it tougher than you'd expect. Even before the draft, there was a special aura around Dion. His 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine became a story of instant legend. To hear it from the man himself. In 1989, the Combine was nothing like it is today. I wanted to go to the Combine to prove everything you heard was true. It was no doubt that I was going to run the 40, and I was going to break the 40 record. That's all I came for. I don't even believe I stretched. You know why? Because I've never seen a cheetah stretch before he go get his prey. Unofficial times range from 4.20 to 4.29, but Dion running straight out to a standing ovation cannot be disputed. And he had a swagger, style, and personality which may not seem that much by today's standards, but he stood alone in those days. His fit that day was closer to a music video than the more traditional outfits of his colleagues, and his flash and cocky personality shone as he fed the media classic lines apparently by accident. One particular quote might have dated slightly, but you can hear the tiptoe between charm and arrogance that many of our favorite athletes delicately balance today. When he described his fears over being drafted to Detroit by saying, "I would have asked them for so much money they would have to put me on layaway." We can't talk about icons of the NFL draft without finishing with arguably the best pick and also maybe the most famous picture in draft history. I'm referring, of course, to the most winningest football player ever, Tom Brady, and his hilariously unimpressive shirtless picture prior to the 2000 draft. This is the best video we can find of the live reaction to Brady being the 199th pick, and the best one analysts can come up with is that his team was better with him than his backup. So yeah, pretty much the opposite of hype. If? No, that's not going to catch on. Anyway, Brady over a couple of days went from expecting to hear his name in the second or third round to being grateful any team was interested at all, and he would not have to become an insurance salesman. We all know the team who drafted him and the colorful owner of that team, but you have to love his story of his first interaction with Brady, who told him face to face, "I'm the best decision this organization ever made." Once he had his foot in the door, his work rate and competitiveness catapulted him to the very top, even without literally any of the physical gifts found in most of his competition. You do not need to be the biggest, fastest, strongest, or quickest to be the best. You have to work harder and smarter to be a little better every day. And if that isn't the best takeaway we can leave you with from the NFL draft, we don't know what else is. Do you find something else more special, or think we missed any amazing draft moments? Let us know in the comments below, and we might do a second video and shout you out. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you found this interesting, and hit the notification bell so you will be made aware of our future uploads right away. Thanks very much for checking out the video. We'll catch you in the next one.